Okay, we are live, and it's 6 o'clock here in the Pacific Northwest, and 8 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, 9 o'clock Eastern Time Zone. And I want to welcome my friends Hershe, the shadow reader, and Thomas Tarot Your Way, who actually they both had something to celebrate this week. Hershe has a new granddaughter, right? It's a girl. And Thomas's channel has been on for 1 year, and I remember bringing him on here in the very beginning, and he was drinking a big bottle of soda. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Still have
so anyway, I just still have that's okay. That's all right. But anyway, congratulations to the both of you for this milestone week. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to have you both here. So, yeah, everybody's saying such a blessing. Yeah, I'm here again, Karen. This time I remembered to put to do my stream on my channel. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so tonight we're going to do some blind spot readings, and this is actually something that Hershe, I don't know if you made it up or whatever, but you started it, and it's sort of taken off in lots of different directions. And I love having both of them together. They work really well together, Thomas and Hershe. And of course, they could be here personally all by themselves, and that would be fine. But I just thought it would be fun to shake it up with two of these guys today. And so I'm going to let Hershe explain what a blind spot reading is, so you can decide if you would like to have one. All right.
Alrighty. So basically what it is, it's what you can't see or what you are in complete denial about. Shadow work is never easy for anybody, and that's what I'm called to do. I'm called to help people here, and I do things on the other side for the dead. So this is what I do, and I want people to start having a safe place to do it at, and I want them to know that there's tools, and these are tools that they can use to start learning how to break through emotions and barriers and walls and fortresses that they've built inside of themselves to block out life because of hurt and pain and tragedy. So blind spots is not something I created. It's something I put my own twist to that I've been doing all since I was like a teenager, but I learned how to do it through another reader. She was a seer in New Orleans, Ouija something. She was an oracle. She was amazing, and she had a little swamp shack reading place that I went to in New Orleans when I was a teenager. And she just like I walked past her, and she just grabbed me, and she told me things that have literally just recently started coming true, but it's like, oh my God, like, wow, like, I can't believe this is happening, so it's like, it's like, I want to, like, yes, I want to know everything, so I don't know, it's just tools, and I just want people to start seeing them, acknowledging them, and then we'll work on them together.
Absolutely. We were talking backstage, and I was saying that, once we look at, we're a little hesitant to look at our shadow because we think of it as only being a negative aspect of our personality, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a negative aspect. And a lot of people are afraid to move into it. And I've talked about this on my channel for many, many years, that it's just something that we can own and we can work with and work to heal ourselves in so many ways. So I think this is a fabulous way of doing that, and I'm so happy that you brought this idea here to YouTube from your learning, and I'm also glad you brought your buddy Thomas along. So thank you. All right, so let's say hi to some folks, and we'll get on the readings here. Let's see. Mary was here. I don't know if she's coming back, but I welcome Mary always, and Barbara, and Rossi, and JR, and Book. I know you know all these folks. And here's Karen. And Michelle Williams is here. And Create Love is here. It's nice to see you. Let's see. Hi, Jess. Majestic Oracle. Thank you for being here, Christine Fryer. And yeah, I think that is that it. For now, that's it. That's okay. It's a good start. Yeah. I don't always come on at night, and sometimes I think it's a lot of fun because you get a lot of different people, or you just get a whole group more of people. So fabulous. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us here tonight, and we'll go ahead and start. And if you find that you want, I've got JR, Create Love, Karen, and Barbara already on the list. If anybody else decides they want one, go right ahead. We'll start off with JR. So let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. This is pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to go first, and then Thomas, you can go, and we'll have Hershe bring up the back. And I've got identity. It's saying to make your own choices. I love this. You've got the mirror there that you can look into. Of course, a lot of us look at our face in the mirrors, and when we do, we don't like what we see, or we criticize what we see. Oh, I'm getting old. My hair's getting gray. Whatever it is. We just need to make sure that we remember to make our own choices, but also to love ourselves, love our reflection. Remember that's the reflection that you're giving out to the entire world. The second one I get is it says to reject on this particular card. This is called Shadow Lands, I think it is. Dismissing options too quickly can lead to neglecting important information. By taking time, the truth will become apparent and you will view the situation in a different light. So it's really been a hard row for me to go when I get something in an email or something and I write right back and send it right out. I've learned that that's not really a good idea for me to do. So instead of automatically actively doing something, ponder it a bit and reject the idea of going too fast for the solution. Because you are at the beginning, there's still time to adjust or start over, no matter how old you are, no matter where you are. Feel life flowing freely through your being. All your wishes can come true in the creative potential of a new beginning. So we can always start tomorrow to begin again. That's what I get. Thank you, dear. All right, Thomas.
Okay, JR, we start out with our Two of Wands. So I think maybe you're a very spontaneous person because you don't make plans or write out lists. You just sort of you're taking life as it happens. But to have goals, you need to write them down and make plans and do something towards those goals daily, weekly, at least. And you may be stuck under some authoritarianism with the Hierophant. You can be a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be a learner. And I think you're meant to be a teacher, but you don't know how to go about that. And once you learn how to teach your skills to other people, you can be that strong Queen of Swords that you're meant to be. And that's what I have.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Thomas. All right, Hershe.
Hi, JR. So the blind spot in your subconscious that I got for you is number 77. So this isn't one that I get a lot, right? So that's why I was like, wait, let me double check because I want to make sure that I understand it. So this isn't a blind spot that you even probably have ever let kind of fester. You know what I mean? This is a reaction. This is a defense mechanism, right? This kind of blind spot is not it's not something that can be controlled. When it occurs, you can only respond. You know what I mean? It's a defense reaction to something. I feel like they paired it with a 6 of Cups sideways, so I feel like this would have happened to you in the innocence part of your youth. As a child, I feel like it's blocking the magical connection that you feel like you're struggling to have or want, or maybe it's even a desire that you want. And because of this upset sigil. This sigil is called upset. You don't know what it is you're upset about, and you defend yourself when people say this about you because you don't understand that you are, because there is some kind of desire that never got fulfilled as an adolescent, as a child, or something due to some kind of traumatic event. But the current situation that it could be blocking is a spiritual or a magical connection that you're trying to make with yourself or with your guides or with something that you're trying to craft or birth into existence for you, for a hobby or something to do, a pastime or a passion of some kind, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what I would recommend for journaling about this is take time to figure out what was unsuccessfully uncommunicated. You know what I mean? Like totally in the time frame of your innocence, and I want to say that usually has something to do with youth or childhood. So I I hope that's a good starting point for journaling for you, and that's what I got.
Thank you. For those of you who came in late, if you're not familiar with the word blind spot, it would be something that you're not aware of, but it also could be shadow. And so we've got Louise Folk, congratulations on your free membership. There you go. So if you I have room for one more. So if you want to join and ask for a reading, well, let's then go ahead and do it now, and then I'm going to close it. So I have Create Love, Karen, Barbara, Maya, Sharon, Denise, Hypnicity, and Carolyn. I have. Okay, Anne, you must be the one that. Hypnicity. Okay, I'll try to do both of you two, but it's going to be at the end, just so you know. Thank you, JR, for jumping off and doing doing our first one, having our first choice tonight. So, oops, I don't know what I'm doing here. Having lots of trouble with my tricky fingers tonight. All right. So we have Create Love that would like a blind spot reading. All righty. You. Welcome to everybody who is joining the chat. If I haven't said hello personally to you, thank you for being here. And remember that both of my guests here have their own channels and would love you to join their channels. And their information is in the show notes. So, all right. Oh, Hypnicity, I called you twice? Okay. All right. I guess it's like the Doublemint twins, huh? All right. Somebody else just posted, though. Who was it? Cynthia. All right. We'll try to do it, Cynthia, if possible. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Willow. Nice to see you, too. Okay. So, Create Love. The first one I get for you is greening. It's called greening. And it says, you don't doubt yourself. You are a natural. You're a natural at whatever gifts that you have. And because this person is sort of growing branches, I'm getting the feeling that you have an awful lot that is going for you, but you may not be aware of all the places you could really go with it. Sometimes we think, oh, I can't hear, but I can see, or I can't feel, but I can smell, as far as the clairaudience and all that stuff goes. But I think you are greening, and greening is spring, and greening is things springing up, and everything's good. You got the numb card. Avoiding your feelings can sometimes be exactly what you need, but at some point the numbness will dissipate. face it now or later. So I think it's calling on you to open yourself up to the shadow work that you need to work on, not be afraid of it, know that it's there for a reason, and that it has aligned with you perfectly in order to heal you. And finally, it's you got the rejuvenating rain, which is clear the past and heal the present. There's nothing better than that. We can't change the past. We just need to clear it, and that brings healing to us as we go forward. So thank you.
So, Create Love, I'm reading from the Morgan Greer Tarot. And we start out with the Fool. So, this could be one of two things. It could be you jump into too many things just right away, and you've got so many projects that you can never complete anything, or you overanalyze and fail to launch. You know, you want to know everything before you start and get all the facts, and uh, it could be analysis paralysis for you. Our, our second card is our King of Swords. So I think maybe too many analytical processes going on in your head, and you want to line everything up, and make sure you've got all the facts before you start, or once you jump into something, then you research it and find out, well, maybe that's not what I wanted to do anyway. But if you take care of those things, the world can be yours. You can turn the world on its head. Maybe you've got something that you create that's unique, and you have that gift for the world. And that's what I got for you, Create Love.
Thank you. She says she extends too much. Honey, I got the same problem. I get it.
So blind spots are meant to wake us up, right? They're for some of us they're a tower moment, right? For me, I anticipate that, you know, when I need to know something, I need my spirit guides to to bring something to my attention, right? So you got number 44. Number 44 is about critical expectations, right? This in your subconscious means that you don't show it on the outside. You don't show your disappointment, right? You don't show it because you're scared to speak it. For whatever reason, for whatever happened that made you very discontent was something that had to do with nurturing. So I'm assuming I'm not gonna like pinpoint or do the finger thing here, but I would say something in your parental or your authority figures, guardians, something in a few years or decades back would have heavily influenced expectations and probably broke everything that they said they would or wouldn't. Um, and it kind of put a door in your subconscious that led to this disappointed when people that you care about do something that they don't even realize is understandingly hurting you because you're not talking, you're not communicating it. So this kind of door is the kind of door that when you're going to do your journaling about it, you're going to ask yourself, am I going to continue to let these expectations be mountains, or am I going to want to maintain them? But in order to maintain them, that means you have to learn to communicate, and you have to tell the people that are hurting you internally. They're disappointing your heart, your soul, your hopes, your dreams because of their assumptions of you, because you're not telling people what your desires and your hopes are and your expectations. You're just existing. You have to open up about these things, and you'll find out that they quickly aren't maintainable. They just are a mountain, and you just go over it and you're done with it. You find out that those that want to go forward, they work on fixing it with you, or they don't allow that to enter the circle, the sacred circle of the friendship or whatever it is kind of relationship that you have with these people, because they don't want to lose you and you don't want to lose them. But you're both not being your best when you can't communicate fully with each other. So make sure your expectations are not critical from a hurtful place, but also make sure that the ones that are admirable, that are even conscious, are being communicated, because it will open doors to the more deeper ones, and you will be able to start healing in a healthier way. And it starts with laughter. So sometimes it's just about, I don't know, I was a fool. I didn't want to talk about it. I was scared. And they probably were too. So with two scared people don't open their mouth, neither one of them get fed. And that's the blind spot I got for you, sweetheart.
Thank you. And there is something too about opening yourself up to, a lot of people don't want to open up to it because they feel like it's going to be too painful for them, or they're triggered by whatever it is. And of course, there's complete understanding that why you wouldn't want to know something like that. But at the same time, if you can know it and heal it, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, because that's what life is, all a bunch of learning. Anyway, no judgment from us.
Absolutely not.
No judgment.
I am all of these, and you see, there's a whole lot of them. Not every single one of them. I have no judgment.
All right. So we have Karen. It's nice to see you, Karen. So I love this. It's a little garden angel with lots of flowers growing all over her. And it says, what do you want? What do you want? And I want to say that you could say, what do you want? You could say it that way, or you could say, what do you want? Or you could say, what do you want? Depending on which word you want to put that emphasis on. If you react negatively to the success and joy of others, it's a sign that you want more for yourself. Don't hold yourself back. Expand your comfort zone. And my only thought is that this may not necessarily be you, but it is the way the world works. It's like, well, if I ask for too much for myself, then there won't be enough for everybody else. But there is enough for everybody. There is enough for everybody. So they want you to use your inner vision and empower yourself. Stand tall, just like a tree, and know that you embody the power of your own being, and that you can make the choice to do that on a daily basis. It says here, we need to recognize that not everybody can be trusted. And that is a hard thing to get past. We've been hurt by somebody that we have trusted. We don't know who to trust anymore. The confidence we place in our own judgment is at the deepest level of trust we can experience. So try to look at it that way, and just work into, this is for everybody really, work into learning how to trust again. But trust yourself. Trust yourself, because you already know the answer.
Karen, we've got the Chariot. And opposing forces can tear you apart, and you don't get forward momentum if you've got one horse pulling you this way and one horse pulling you that way. So if you struggle with yourself and fail to make decisions promptly, a decision will be made for you, and it may not be the right consequences that come out of it. So with our magician in the center, practice the things you need to practice. If it's going forward, make sure you take steps, put one foot in front of the other, and make sure you're proceeding forward. Because if you do that, we can get the Six of Wands, our victory card.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
If those are problems for you, get to it.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. All right, Hershe.
So I get this sigil a lot for people, and it seems like every time I get it, it wants me to focus on a different part. Ownership is not the sigil you got, but this would be the next one that I have my gems start that I work with every Wednesday and every Thursday, and my Facebook group and here on YouTube on Wednesdays. We've got number 51. 51 is belief, right? Belief is one of them words that here it's not just the word BELIEF, right? It's roots, stems, thorns, unseen, unfelt. It's that stinking thinking, right? We begin to believe that we build foundations on unstable grounds. We pour concrete without putting reinforced steel down, so it's not going to take much weight. It becomes a hard-boiled egg. It'll crack under pressure. There's all kinds of steaming buildups that happen when our belief system is on rocky ground, right? What I want you to understand is that there's key words to your journaling prompt, but they absolutely need to start with decide now your next step, then do it. Your next journaling prompt should look like, what would it mean if I didn't? What would it mean if I didn't? What am I cutting off? I want you to put a band-aid everywhere you're cutting something off that you love, that you dream of, that you speak of, that you see when you look and you see your dream house, your dream car. And we're not talking $1 million stuff here, right? I want a tiny house and a view. I don't even need 2 acres. I ain't lying. When I picture my happiness, when I picture my meditation place, my emerald city that I go to for my peace, when I go to a graveyard to get away from people, because most people are scared of graveyards. I'm like, best place in the world for me, or the ocean, so I can feel real small. I had to learn this about me because my belief system was thinking 28 8 days a week. Literally. I didn't know how to turn it off. I had to find better ways to see myself, right? And then I had to immediately stop anytime it crept in. So what I can tell you is this belief is the kind that will cause people to start wars within themselves, like their head and their heart are always torn. They might even want to hurt themselves because they're denying what they want. Why do I know that? Because your strength is in reverse. Strength in reverse just means that what could have a strong foundation forgot to get rebarb added, or the little wire stuff that you wire together to the rebarb to reinforce it, you know what I mean? And then you edge it, you room it, you complete the whole thing. You can't skip a step. You can't do that. So you got through ownership, but now you're in that next part, that belief part, right? And honey, all I can tell you is the more you believe, the more you will see. And I mean within yourself. I promise you, if you go back to earth, if you go back to nature, your element, your humbleness, and you just work on being you, just to you right now. You don't have to be you to anybody else when it comes to your belief. Just work on that stinking thinking and turn them words around. Force them to be positive. Don't keep letting them use you, because that stinking thinking is a long place to be at. And it will have you out there looking crazy inside of a mirror when you want to love yourself and you can't look at yourself in a mirror because you can't believe that these allowed thoughts are what's leading you. So all you got to do is just not allow them to come in. It's time and place, and it will help. But it starts
Awesome.
with removing them.
That's awesome. Wow. All right. So we have Barbara Nesper. Everybody that's come in just a few minutes ago, I'm sorry. We're about half an hour, and we've already got a lot of people that asked for a reading, and I apologize. We still have about 10 of them to do. So. All right. The first card I get for you, Barbara, is to remember that you are blessed and you are the magic. The magic exists within you, and you have the power to bring it out and forward for yourself anytime you wish. You just have to believe it, that it's there, and have to want to access it. The next one I get is the word frustration, and it says, restart from the very beginning and scrap anything that you've already tried. The answer to moving beyond the irritation will be found in exploring new ideas. So I'm thinking that if something's not quite working for you, that you need to sort of strip that down and see if you can work on another way of doing it. I've had to do that myself, and it's liberated me in a lot of ways. Especially when I teach classes. I was assigning 5 classes to my class, and somebody looked at my syllabus and said, "You have too many papers that's a lot of work for you to do." And I thought, oh, hell yeah, you're right. So, it could be that you've just been doing something for the same for such a long time. You're not seeing that there could be an easier way. And it says, whatever you wish, when you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, life swings back into balance. Stop your struggle, feel your peace, and see how the world responds to you. So thank you, Barbara.
Barbara, you need to defend yourself. You need to stick up for yourself, because it looks like there's a lot of people that are around you and talking you down, and they keep keeping a bigger all around you. And if you don't realize that you've got the high ground and are right and can't defend your position, big tower moment could be coming your direction. So make sure you stand up for yourself and have self advocacy, or if you're needing some help, get someone that can help you and help you defend and help you to build up. And that's what I have for you, Barbara.
Okay.
So, Barbara, I got number 30. 30 is that short-term thinking, right? That short-term thinking is the thinking that that bottom line, that quick sale, what I would want you to do with that, it's actually quite easy. They paired it with a 4 of Cups in reverse, and the best part about a 4 of Cups in reverse is that it's a spark, right? It means movement. It means that something is lighting a fire or getting that frying pan hot so that you can start moving them 2 feet in a heartbeat. And they pair it with abundance. So I would say that if you start stretching that short-term thinking and stop thinking about a quick bottom line and stretch it 3 times. I'm hearing stretch it 3 times. If you start journaling and stretching all of your goals and stop looking for the bottom line, the quicker, the faster, and work about the longer and the harder, everything will change quickly and abundance, and you'll find out that the long term will get you where you're trying to go, because then you can move easier without having to move so strategically, trying to hurry up and get where you're going. And that's what I got for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Barbara. I hope that made some sense to you and is helpful. All right, so we have Maya Karuna, Reiki Master. Oh, Maya, you changed your title. I'm glad to see that. So if there's still time, we're at a blind reading. Okay, blind spot. By the way, everybody, Unseen Tarot Secrets was kind of a weird title of my thumbnail. But I think what AI did was take a look at Blindspot, and they thought of it as being on something unseen, and that's where they came up. So anyway, it wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't me. It was the AI. All right. All right, Maya. Probably the band name. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it is.
Would you like me to start, Aley?
You can, Thomas. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Maya, you need some balance in your life. It looks like you may be pulled one way or two ways a little too far and be stretched out with a lot of things, and you need to come up with some kind of creative solution, because this Ace of Wands is a promise of creativity, and once you do that, you're going to be secure financially in your own kingdom, which is your household and your surroundings. That's what I have for you.
All right. I got you maybe doing some cocooning. And of course, it's wintertime. A lot of people do cocooning, but it reminds you that consider the source. So if somebody has said something that's offensive or something has happened that's upsetting, let's say, think about who said it, why they said it. Are they gossipy? And why is it bothering you? I'm going to say. But it also could be that they want you to just feel as though you can climb away and cocoon yourself away from those that are unfair and unkind. I have unhappiness. It says searching for contentment is a well-traveled path that can be elusive. The hunt for happiness might not conclude at the destination, but joy can be found in the journey. And that's really something that I truly, truly believe in. Finally, you get the beginning as well. We had one, it showed up earlier tonight. Anything that you don't like, you can begin again, and you can start right away, or you can wait till tomorrow if that's what you want. But you're never too old. It's never too late. There's always time to begin again if that's what you want to
do. So the blind spot that I got for your subconscious was number 21. 21 is isolation. So this isn't the hermit mode kind of isolation. This is the isolation that leads to codependency. So in your journaling prompt, what I want you to start with is honesty about how and why do I isolate? Why do I get so dependent on people, place, or thing, one usually, that I feel like I can't breathe when I don't get it, when I need it, when I want it, I crave it, whether that's a person or whatever, but it's usually just one thing, right? Because we're so away and cut off and guarded, and our walls are so tall, we don't live life, we don't exist, we don't even coexist, we literally isolate. We have one thing that we obsess over, right? That we're codependent to. So I'm not saying that you're codependent. What I'm saying is that you might have some isolation issues subconsciously that stem from a place where your soul is crying out to heal about it. This isn't something that's easily done. It's something that I've had to do and work on myself. So I can relate to this. It's not a real heavy one, but it's the one that takes time to work on healing that part of your heart. that felt alone and abandoned. And that's a good place to start. So
Wow.
that's the blind spot I've got for you.
And I love that because cocooning to me is also isolating. And
It is.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's awesome. Thank you, dear. All right, Thomas, you can go ahead first on Sharon O'Brien if you'd like.
So this is probably a card that would have went with the last reading. We start out with the Hermit. So I think you're needing to take more Sharon time because I think a lot of things depend on you for other people's lives, and you need to take back some of your own time, because if you don't, you're going to be forced into the hangman. It's going to take a toll on your body and knock you out for a couple weeks. And health is important. Let me tell you, once you reach that 6-0, you can't take anything for granted anymore. But once you get to your high priestess, you'll find the hidden knowledge that you need to take care of yourself and avoid overtaxing, overstressing. And that's what I get for you, Sharon.
There you go. All right. Yeah, it is pretty deep. And Maya, thank you for your feedback. But yeah, these are a little bit deep. I agree with that. All right. So here's Denise. Denise, we're doing blind spot readings tonight. Oh, I didn't do my reading. Oh well, I'm gonna just go. I've lost my train of thought. Sorry. We're doing blind spot readings. I don't know if we can fashion this as what is for your highest good to know about with regard to a blind spot. We could do that, but we're kind of sticking with that for this evening. And if you just let me know, do you still want that or not? Then we'll put you back up. I will read for you. Okay. So let's just go on to hypnicity right now. So Denise, if you want it on the blind spot, that's fine. We'll do it. Just tell me. So Thomas, you can go whenever you're ready.
Do we want to finish, Sharon?
I already put it away. Sorry. Hershe didn't even do it.
No.
Sorry, Hershe, go ahead. Sorry. I'm
sure?
doing two things at once, and I'm not being very smart, so I apologize. Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Nope.
All right. I'm coming. There you go, honey. Yeah.
Okay.
Sharon.
This one is one I could talk about for hours and hours and hours. So what I would recommend is that this one is you think you know, but you don't know. This sigil is the ego feeding the super ego, right? So this one can lead you to some places that are comfortable like a security blanket, but there is critical information missing. And because there's critical information missing, that superego stocks up on what it knows the superego will feed off of. And then it just sits there and it feeds it and feeds it and feeds it. But it's missing something, right? So the sigil is about understanding that you need to know everything before you go with it, because when it is an obstacle illusion and you got the moon card, and the moon card for me as a shadow reader is an obstacle illusion when it's in the upright position, right? So this is something that you may go with the flow every single day of your life, but it's also something that I believe your ego could be aware of. So just be real careful, because Radiant was in reverse. So just be very careful about it and make sure you get the information before you make decisions down the road.
Okay. And Sharon, I don't want to cheat you out of a reading here. I got trust your growing potential is what I get for you. And something doesn't feel right, but identifying what's missing eludes you. Re-examine the situation from a distance. I was talking about that earlier, how sometimes you don't want to respond right away. You just need to think about it first instead of responding immediately, because you may regret making a response too fast. So, thank you, dear. All right. My apologies for being all screwed up. All right. So Denise McMullen does want a blind spot reading. So we'll go ahead with her next. In Hypnicity, you're after this. Right. Hi, Marianne. Thomas, you're welcome to go.
Okay.
Musical people here. Okay.
We start out with the Emperor, and our Emperor represents authority figures. So I think maybe you're seeking the position of authority. So if you want to be the authority, you have to study and educate yourself on any subject. So if you have problems with authority figures, then you have to you do have to figure things out, because some people are very cagey with the devil card. They do. Some people do try to manipulate situations and keep information from you in the process. And if you keep having those problems, it may affect you and your intended. It can cause problems between the two of you if other people keep messing with you. And that's what
Awesome. So you got the greening card as well, Denise. In other words, you are blossoming. You're a natural. You've got branches growing out of you. You have potential that is untapped and unseen, and your growth is unlimited. So this is a great card to have here. It says here, the other card you have is called Stunned, and it says that moment when time stands still as you try to make sense of what has just occurred. This is the golden moment to plan your next move rather than react to the situation. And I love that. Sometimes something will happen and we'll step back and go, oh my God, we can't believe it. And that could even be a synchronicity. In this case, it could be something else. But allow yourself to step back and take it all in before you make a decision about it. Thank you.
So I got number 26. 26 is impact. Impact is about those statements like they'll get over it. They're just being too sensitive. These are statements that people that are brutally honest like to say, and then they like to blame it on being brutally honest, right? I feel like maybe this was something not necessarily your MO, but maybe something that you can relate to as growing up around or hearing as a child. And sometimes when people are honest, it makes you think, well, are they being brutally honest? You're sometimes struggle with constructive criticism, because I know that's one of the harder parts of it, but it's more about attunement with yourself, with learning to find that people that want to help or people that want to be there to just to listen, they don't even have to respond or say anything. They can just listen when you need to release that kind of anxiety. It's like auto-tuning yourself so that you can get back into frequency. I feel like with it being paired with the 6 of matches and that showing in the sideways position, It could have an arrogant kind of feeling to it. It could have a disagreeable edge that always makes people feel like they're literally on the edge. So there is fulfillment with finding it. You did get a strong affirmation card that shows that this is something that overcoming will bring a lot of fulfillment to your subconscious, and it will fuel the healing part for your soul when it comes to people like that, and you'll recognize them, and you'll be able to like not let their brutal honesty affect you, because they won't kind of hit you so hard with your boundaries. That's what I got.
Wow, thank you. Hi, Joyful Journey. It's nice to see you. Thank you. All right, so Hypnicity, a blind spot for you. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being with us here tonight and with my guests. Both Hershe, if you're not already a subscriber to Hershe and Thomas's personal channels, Hershe the Shadow Reader and Thomas Tarot Your Way, and the information's in the chat. Please go over and like and subscribe their channels, because they're awesome. All right.
Thank you.
You can go. You can go if you want.
Okay, Hypnicity. We got the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is the one who doesn't think before they act. And if you keep reacting instead of responding to things, things don't go the right way. You want to be more like our Knight of Cups. You want to schmooze and grease hands and get along with people instead of being the bull in the china shop. And I think it stems from something in the past, in nostalgia, with our Six of Cups. So if you can figure out what causes that behavior in you, and you'll know what to do to cure the situations.
Realign yourself. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Thomas. So you're going to love this. I don't know if you've ever seen those kites down at the beach where people hold on to two fisted thing, and it's a huge kite up in the sky, and you have to kind of command it with both your hands. And sometimes it almost seems like you're going to be lifted up off the ground. They're saying to let it go. So this is the equivalent, lighten your load. It's the equivalent, to the 10 of Wands, I believe, where you're bent over and holding on to too much stuff, and all you need to do is let it go. So let go of that which doesn't serve you and lighten your load, because it's much easier once you allow yourself to do that. And it says, voicing your frustrations will provide you with an opportunity to explain the situation in a different way, which could be the very answer those people are looking for. So, yeah, I got annoyed. The word is annoyed, but it's providing clarity not only to them, but to you as well. So, thank you.
So I got number 3. Number 3 is the sigil called Their Motives. This is got kind of 2 steps to it, right? This is a very complicated. That's why the sigil kind of splits itself, right? It's their motives. It's not third party energy. It's your sigil and the one you share it with that may have been the kicker of it in the beginning, when this kind of shadow trauma was being created. So for you, you struggle to see people's true motives, and sometimes, even though you may see the red flags, you consciously you overlook them due to fear or possibly even distrust, or just another one we don't like to say, but is the fear of isolation or being alone, right? Those are powerful desires that make us sometimes overlook red flags, right? So when I asked what kind of energy was the start of this, or where it possibly could have stemmed from, I got Hierophant in reverse, right? This is my nemesis card. We're not going down that crazy train, but it's blocking the peace card, right? So what I honestly just would want to say is that I would think a good place to start in journaling for you would be beneficial to ask people, do you have a motive?
Okay.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed. And if you have that gut feeling, your gut is telling you something. If you don't need to run to the bathroom, then your gut is telling you something. Stop avoiding them red flags and find out right then and there, what is the motive? What is the ulterior situation going on that I clearly don't see? And that is a good spot to be in.
Wow.
You're aware of.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean, really going through our shadow selves, it seems like it's an impossibility to get clarity and to move forward on it sometimes, because we feel like we're stuck in the mud and our feet can't come out to move forward. But it really does give us clarity if we know the direction in which we can go, and to know that it's possible is very
right. And blind spots don't always hit home that second. If they did, when it comes to your subconscious, you would have already known about it. But it's just not how it goes in your subconscious. It's not present. It's not in your face. It's not burning on your stove. So they take a little work.
It does. And actually, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is to have an epiphany. And it's like,
oh yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, this was here all along, and I just didn't see it that way. It really makes a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Dr. Ann would like a reading, please.
Please tell me it's OBGYN doctor and not like.
No, she is actually a doctor of education. A doctor of education.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, y'all better don't let me down, y'all.
No, she's fabulous. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
So, Dr. Ann, you may need to put on the brakes and remember that slow and steady wins the race. I feel like you have a lot of irons in the fire all the time, and you're going breakneck pace quite a bit, and you're just not enjoying the journey. Another card of patience is our Seven of Pentacles, so that's about reaping what you sow. But remember, you got to till the fields, plant the seeds, tend to them, weed the garden if necessary, and then make sure to pick your harvest in the fall and get everything that is due you from your hard work.
Yeah.
And then it will help you make quicker decisions if you slow down.
Yep. She wears a lot of hats. She really does. And she just opened a channel, and she's done, we've had discussions before, 2 spiritual academics. So she's very much into the spiritual, but she's got a lot of irons in the fire, and she'll be the first to admit it. So there you go. So Ann, you don't need anyone's approval to pursue and fulfill your purpose, and you know it anyway. Embrace your own unique journey and trust that it's leading you to where you need to go. And then I get the word irritation. And it's those little things that crop up, and we say to ourselves, now, why the hell did that have to happen when I was, going along so nicely? It says there comes a time when standing up and being counted may not necessarily resolve the issue, but it sure feels good when you're finally heard. Oh my God. I'll take this for myself as well, Anne. I think it has to do with education. Mhm.
Okay, so this is one of those heavier ones, right? So
Mhm.
this one is never comfortable. I struggle with this daily. You got number 16. Number 16 is about control, right? This is that not conscious control where you can fakely allow people to do things that have to be done because they have to be done, right? This is
Mhm.
the fact that there's one thing that just literally could lead to almost criticism subconsciously of ourselves, right? Like to where we just rip ourselves apart when we fail at this one thing, like a surgeon that just slips on a hidden stitch or something, and they just can't get that right grip, right? But it's not that serious. You can't criticize yourself and critique yourself. That's hard. When I asked what the energy was around it, what I got was immaturity, right? So when I think about immaturity, I think about youth, right? That's the first thing I think about. When I think about it being the page of cups, that even doubles the suspicion of it being that youthful energy, right? For me. But what it's blocking is radiant, right? Radiant and radiance. You think about what radiant turns into is radiance, right? So that's
Mhm.
one of the goals that gets stretched over time. Practice, 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 right? And this is one of those deep journaling ones that comes to finding out what your trigger is that causes you to criticize and critique yourself to where you're literally ripping holes in your soul. You can't let your light out. You need to hold your light in because people seek that kind of light. So don't critique yourself so hard when you don't get it 100% because nobody's meant to get anything 100% of the time. And that's what I
Isn't that
got.
awesome? Wow. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, dear. Yeah, these are something control. She said, yes, you've got it so right, Hershey. We what's the word I want to say? Um, we may have to think, watch this again and think about what's been said because it is heavy. It is heavy, and it's not meant.
It's not meant to be heavy. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's we blame our emotions. We blame other things for what it actually is, whether it's anxiety or fear or depression. We blame it to and rake it all into one pile, and we say, "Oh, it's because of this." No, 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 no. That's not how you heal it. You don't. You
Mhm.
have to break it down. You can't work a division problem without breaking the division problem down,
True.
or the
It's true.
Pythagorean theorem, or anything that's complicated. And we are complicated, and we have layers. And all you got to do is just find the correct emotion and start healing it. And then another pseudonym that works, I think, is just thinking that, I got an oil change and now my tire is flat, and then I fixed
I
my
know.
tire and now my rotor went out, and then I fixed my rotor and now my headlights aren't coming on.
Right.
That's part of the solution,
And there's the
not the
irritation.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. Very true.
Mental maintenance.
Mental maintenance.
Exactly,
I love it.
exactly.
I love it. She said it's the othering or passing the blame on others, other things instead of looking within. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, this
And,
is all about within. It's not,
yeah,
finger pointing at somebody
yeah,
else. It's what we do to
absolutely.
ourselves.
Yep. All right. So we got Cynthia. Um, we have McGrill and we have Dolores. I will do that for you this evening. And then I have a quick question for Carolyn Booker. She's wondering about something that happened, and we'll ask it at the end. All right.
Cynthia, I think with our Nine of Pentacles reversed, I think you're thinking that you're lacking in something. Hopefully it's not your confidence, because you are enough. A possible pathway for you to get out of that lack is just to get out in nature and see what all is out there, and be grateful for the beautiful surroundings that we have on this planet. And once you get grounded, you'll get your strength back.
There you go. Yep. I love this. Rossi's mentioning it never stops. We always need to work on our blind spots. Thanks, Rossi. I agree 100%, because we always have something else that we could be better at, you know. So, Cynthia, I get reveal and express the real you. And I love this because it's a woman who has sort of a hidden tattoo on her back, and it's been covered up by her dress, but that doesn't mean it's gone away. And so, you know, this woman has wings and she can fly. She just needs to remember to use her authenticity and be the person that she really is, and not worry about what anybody else thinks about the person she is. It says being alarmed at what's happening is a healthy response to your own self-preservation. You need to stay alert and look for further signs so you can protect yourself. So if you are alarmed, make sure that you just take it and sit with it for a while. This is what I'm feeling this whole night. It's like, don't make any kind of judgment about things, especially immediately. Just use them as lessons so that you can learn about yourself more and you can change to be who you really should be.
So, you got number 33. I know what this sigil is, like the back of my hand. This is the shame sigil. Oh my God. That's also a 4-page sigil. There's 4 pages about shame, right? There's 2 about conscious and 2 about subconscious, because this is one of them that gets blamed for everything. But the biggest thing it gets blamed for is guilt. Shame gets blamed for guilt so often that it's completely overlooked. People forget about it, right? What I see, because you got yours in reverse, you also got it paired with a reverse 10 of swords or a 10 of needles, which is about regeneration. It's also paired with divinity. What I see is that you learned this probably the hard way, and this is one of the sigils that you're kind of proud that you got, because you are doing a lot of not just conscious journaling, but that subconscious journaling. Your sigil was in reverse. You have found that you were blaming a lot with that crazy emotion, and saying, oh, it's about shame. Oh, it's about shame. You're just feeding that super ego, feeding it until your ego got tired of it and said, you know what? You got me working overtime. Pride can't go no more. They cut their own line. There ain't no more pride.
There you go.
That is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad you don't have a blind spot right now. But don't keep not checking, because they come up all the time as we start eliminating things. So I'm glad to see you're working on it. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, dear. All right, so we have McGrill.
Okay. Something's in your thoughts and keeping you up late at night. You play it over and over and over in your head, and if you play those recordings over and over, they tend to get stuck and burnt in there. And then when you really have to show up and have a celebration with your family, you don't enjoy the celebration because you're overly tired. And you know, you may have had to plan the baby shower or the bridal shower or whatever. But it's so taxing because you're always at a lack of sleep and rest, that it just takes a toll. But once you overcome, once you realize, you can get your Ace of Cups and have the overflowing abundance of appropriate emotions and not be overwrought. That's what I have for you, McGrill.
All right. Thank you. McGrill, I had to find another deck because it says become more familiar and bond with your spirit animal. So I said, I wonder if she knows who her spirit animal is. So I pulled a spirit animal. And you got the beautiful peacock. Isn't it gorgeous? It says here that if a peacock is your spirit animal, that it symbolizes vision, wisdom, beauty, and guardianship. And so no wonder you got this as a spirit animal. You are walking hand in hand with the energy of the beautiful peacock. And I want you to know something very important, that a male peacock is the one with all the beautiful feathers. It isn't the female. So it does show that we, in our relationships, some balance out in different ways than other kinds of relationships. And it says if something doesn't feel right, identify what's missing and re-examine the situation from a distance. And there's that same message all over again in time. So there you go.
So you got number 72 in your subconscious. Number 72 is escapism, right? That's a heavy word, right? It's not one that's even heard of a lot unless you're some kind of professor that would understand that there's like 55 definitions to escapism, right? And 30 of those 55 apply to the human mindset, right? This is the kind of escapism that can cause physical pain and non-physical. It can lead you to losing everything because you escape from everything. You run, you quit, you give up. You literally deny yourself your own success. This is leading you to self-sabotage, right? So this is another one of them like 6-page sigils. So the main thing I want you to look at in your journaling, because you got the Ace of Buttons. The Ace of Buttons is all about opportunities, and it's reminding you to breathe when you feel like running, right? When you feel like you need to get away, when this isn't working, or when you feel like you're not going to get what you want. So you need to like just get away or whatever. You need to face it and stop trying to escape all the time. This takes rational in terms of irrational, right? Rational is okay, that's natural, that's healthy. Irrational is the escapism triggering you to want to run, right? What I want you to do is that you yourself at that point are bringing yourself, your subconscious is bringing your conscious to awareness to not run. Stop, because you yourself can stop the resistance that you're giving yourself, and give yourself a second to first breathe and then realize there's an opportunity right in front of you at that exact moment to not run and face that emotion, so that you will be using the emotion and the emotion will not be using you. And that's what I got.
Wow, that's great. Thank you. All right. So before we finish with Dolores's reading this evening, Carolyn had offered to, swap out and give somebody else new a reading. So we're going to do that for Dolores. But Carolyn, last night on the show we had, she said all of a sudden her water glass started shaking. And so she just wanted to know what we thought it might have been. I know that's not a blind spot reading, but I just thought I would ask you if you get any ghostly ideas or spirit ideas.
Well, the first thing I'm hearing is that, well, are you in like an earthquake kind of area? Like I guess it's a process of elimination.
And she's not.
But the second thing, like my little spidey senses and my team would be like that something could have been like tapping the glass to possibly get your attention.
Wow.
It wouldn't maybe it would have been subtle because they didn't want to alarm you or startle you. So I mean, it feels like, you know, it was the innocence of somebody probably trying to reach out to you. It is leap day, so there's a lot of good extra energy going on, and they are taking advantage of it, including the ornery ones. But something soft and subtle like that, I would think that it's just somebody that loves you, and they're just saying, "Hey,
How you doing tonight?" There you go.
think about the moment. Like, was there a song playing, a movie, a smell? You know,
We were on a show. We were on a show, so I think it was maybe some kind of a message to her, but that's really cool. All right. Thank you for that. Water is a great conductor. You're right. So maybe it was the orchestra that wanted to be heard.
Right. We always think we're channeling it, but when it's water or fire, it's usually them being able to reflect easier for us to see what they're trying to show us.
That's right. All right. So, Carol, Dolores has not had a blind spot reading. So, yeah, the show had crazy energy last night. You're right. Go ahead, Thomas. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, Dolores, we start out with the miser card, and my miser card is not the same as anybody else. If you're going to have your treasury full of abundance and the gold and the jewels and everything, you got to clean house so there's space for your treasury. So this is my declutter card. Are you hanging on to stuff that needs to be gotten rid of? It can be personal items. It can be people in your life. And clean your house like your mother-in-law is coming over for a visit. Because, you know, she's going to give it the white glove treatment. And once you get your house in order, we come up with a happy families card, the 10 of cups. So until you get that spare room in your life, things and people can weigh you down, especially if you've got like boxes and stuff all over the floor. You know, you shuffle it here, you shuffle it there, and you never take care of anything. So if you clean house, you clean up your mind so you can have more positive thoughts.
Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, we're hearing a very weird back feed. Jay said something about it. I've been hearing it for a while. You're welcome.
So, Hershe.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
I got here. What's that, Thomas?
I think it's from Hershe's. She's been having problems.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hi, Heather. I got pull two cards for you, Dolores. I get honor your authenticity. They want you to definitely embrace who you are, embrace how you look at the world, embrace who you want to be known as, and not worry about what anybody else thinks. The only person that it should matter to is you. And, you know, you just need to step out of your comfort zone maybe and honor that. The other thing I get is solace. Comfort is coming. So there's something that you've been working on that may have been uncomfortable, but I'm seeing that's making its way out, and you will get some kind of comfort from that particular situation. So thank you so much, Hershe.
So I just literally want to say that you got sigil 36. There are 6 different sigils that represent negativity in this deck, right? But the different layers of the negativity. Number 36 is probably the heaviest one out of the negative entity energies that we carry with our emotions, right? This one is the reinforcement negative, right? This is the one that literally causes a source of stimulus to feed resentment eventually, right? So with acknowledgement of this kind of reinforcement negative in your subconscious will help you understand that it can be broke. They paired it with the worst card in the deck for me in reverse, the Three of Needles, the Three of Swords. So it's in reverse. That's about relief, right? So that means that I honestly believe, and they paired it with positivity. So I honestly believe that somewhere very recently, something broke for you, right? Something broke for you to make this sigil be top dog in your life to where you couldn't avoid it anymore. What I want you to understand that is that when you ask yourself, what is it that I need? Instead of what is it that I want? We can have a gazillion wants. And that's that negative thinking that's feeding it, right? And then we enforce that negative with those patterns and we build up little squares and shadow boxes that hold the negative corners and spaces until it becomes reinforcing itself, right? So acknowledging this, which it looks like you have acknowledged it, is a sign that you're working them negative layers backwards. You're undoing them. And that is the best way because when you're crocheting or whipping something with a whip stitch and you miss a stitch or you miss a big space and it's all the way at the beginning and you're at the end, but it doesn't matter. It will unravel if you don't go fix it. It's at that point, that's where you're at because you have turned it around. You are in relief and you are headed back to a positive place, that broken spot, so that you begin to heal it, so that now as you redo it, you may even decide to add another color into it, put a little spice into it, put a little flavor into it, put a little more of your authentic self into it, because you're undoing things that no longer will negatively impact you. And that's what I've got for you.
Wow, what a great show. Thank you so much, Hershe and Thomas, and all of you in the chat and our moderators and everything. Make sure you check out Hershe's channel at Hershe the Shadow Reader and Thomas at Tarot Your Way. And thank you all for allowing us to see if we could help you with your blind spots tonight. Much love. Thank you, guys. Take care. Yep. Bye-bye.